The cafe was busy, filled with the soft hum of conversation and the clinking of cups, when an uncomfortable silence suddenly fell. At the counter, her card had been declined not once, but twice. A faint flush crossed her face as she apologized to the cashier, already preparing to step aside and leave without her coffee to anyone watching. She looked like an ordinary woman having a bad moment, weighed down by quiet embarrassment. Before she could walk away, a man standing behind her gently spoke up. Without hesitation or drama, he offered to pay for her coffee. There was no judgment in his voice, no curiosity in his eyes, just calm sincerity. He didn't ask for her name, didn't expect thanks, and certainly didn't imagine anything extraordinary would come from it. To him, it was simply the right thing to do. She tried to protest, but he smiled and waved it off, as if kindness required no explanation. That small gesture, so effortless and sincere, meant more than the cost of a cup of coffee. In that brief moment, he restored her dignity, sparing her from embarrassment and reminding her that compassion still exists in a rushed, indifferent world. What he didn't know was that she was far from helpless. He didn't know her success, her influence, or the powerful position she held beyond those cafe doors. All he saw was another human being in need of a little grace, and that is what made the act so powerful. Sometimes, the smallest choices reveal the biggest truths. In a world obsessed with status and wealth, his quiet kindness proved that character shines brightest when no one is watching, and when nothing is expected in return. Asterisk to the world outside that cafe. She was known as a powerful, confident millionaire, CEO, a woman who led companies, made high-stakes decisions, and commanded respect in boardrooms filled with influential people. But that day, she chose to step away from titles, luxury, and recognition. Dressed simply and blending into the background, she wanted to experience something rare, to be treated not for who she was, but for who people believed she was. She had learned over the years that status changes behavior, doors open faster, smiles appear easier, and kindness often comes with hidden motives when wealth is involved. So she began quietly observing, watching how strangers react when there is nothing to gain, when no one knows your name or your success. The decline card wasn't staged, but it became a moment of truth, revealing more about the people around her than any meeting ever could. Some looked away, uncomfortable. Others pretended not to notice. Then there was him, the stranger, who stepped forward without hesitation. He didn't see a CEO, a millionaire, or an opportunity. He saw a person in an awkward moment and chose compassion over indifference. That single choice spoke volumes. In that instant, she realized something profound. Real character is not shaped by wealth or recognition. It appears in the quiet moments, when no reward is promised and no spotlight exists. His kindness was pure, because it was uninformed, free from expectations or personal gain. Her identity remained hidden, but her perspective changed forever. The experience reaffirmed what she had long suspected. True humanity is revealed when appearances fade, and sometimes, the most valuable insights come when you step out of power and into humility. Asterisk what began as a small, almost forgettable gesture, pain for a stranger's coffee, quietly set a powerful chain of events into motion. For him, it was just an instinctive act of decency, a moment where he chose kindness without expecting recognition or reward. He walked away believing nothing more would come of it, unaware that his simple choice had already left a lasting mark for her. That moment lingered. The warmth of his gesture stayed with her long after the coffee had cooled. In a life filled with wealth, authority, and constant validation, genuine kindness had become rare. People often treated her with care because of who she was or what she represented. But this was different. This kindness was unfiltered, offered freely when she appeared to have nothing to offer in return. Days later, circumstances brought their paths together again, this time under very different light. When the truth of her identity surfaced, it wasn't meant to impress him, but to remind him of the impact of his character. Opportunities opened, not as charity, but as recognition of integrity. His life began to change in ways he never imagined, simply because he had been himself. Yet the transformation wasn't one-sided. She, too, was changed. That single act restored her faith in people and reshaped how she chose to lead with empathy, humility, and deeper purpose. She realized that true wealth isn't measured by numbers, influence, or possessions, but by the ability to uplift others in their quiet moments. In the end, it wasn't money that changed everything, it was compassion. And through that one small act, both lives were forever transformed.